Oh, look, they're holding hands as they walk to the services. I like them.
Jags.
Nice people.
They keep you in love. I bet they do.
This is what they've got to be careful of. New XE, the F-Pace, you know, broadening their market, younger audience. But
Don't forget
they should instruct all of their dealers, mandatory staff training, please don't sell any cars to twats.
It's good. You don't need burnouts in it yet?
No, but it feels like a very burn-outy car.
If you want me to oblige, I'm more than happy. If we find some private property,
Obviously,
in which we can partake in such activities.
It drives me nuts when you read people like on sort of car blogs and things, and they'll go, and on my private test track I was able to hit 120 miles an hour, and you go, bullshit, you were on a dual carriageway.
You go past a
no
sign
one
and you
has
go,
a
hang
private test track, you tip.
Hang on, is that not the A6151?
Effortless.
It's a great motor.
The ride in this car is not super jag smooth, but the more I drive it, the more it just doesn't bother me. I thought it bothered me a bit, but it doesn't somehow.
I thought it was going to bother me because the normal XJ rides beautifully. The Super Sport was 20% stiffer than a standard one, I believe.
Right.
And this one's 10% more than the Super Sport was.
Is that what, 10% or 20% or 30% in total?
I think it's 30. Yeah, I was going to say.
Carry the
but needless to say, the thing that I worried about was, it's like say you buy an AMG S-Class.
Yeah. You
still want it, because you've bought an S-Class, you still want it to ride really well. You don't want it to ride like a Megane Trophy.
No.
Do you?
No. So, there's a reason I have this XJR. And the reason is that I wrote a review of the Jaguar XF, base model diesel.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it.
The 2-litre engine.
2-litre perineum diesel. And I just found it a deeply ordinary and rather underwhelming car, and I just don't. Jags should be anything but ordinary.
Yeah.
This is not an ordinary car. This is a lovely car.
Yeah.
And it has that sense. I hate using the word special. You know, when people always go, "Oh, Jags are always special." It sort of sounds like you're sort of patronising a child a little bit. But
yeah.
There is, for want of a better word, there is a quality to them that is indefinable, but that makes them feel like they have a sense of occasion.
Yeah.
And they just make you feel good when you get in them. There's something warm about sitting in a Jag.
Even second-hand, like leggy ones, like the one I had, felt quite special.
Yeah. There's just something to them, and I can't explain it. And the XF I thought was ordinary, so I said so. And within minutes of me putting this slightly negative review online, the Jaguar PR man emailed me and went, "Oh, so you didn't like the XF then? Would you like to borrow an XJR?" And I thought, good PR. Right, you didn't like this car. Here, have something else that we think you will like.
Yeah.
Some juicy supercharged goodness. And I was so taken aback by this that I couldn't say no.
Is this a dying breed of engine now, the V8 with the supercharger on? Because everyone else who did used to supercharge, like Mercedes AMG, they've all gone turbines.
Well, it's your emissions, isn't it? It's your emissions, because I think superchargers are not actually that efficient, are they? They're more efficient than they used to be.
They're not as flexible.
But there was a thing, I remember we did a story in Evo about the XFR, I think, when that came out.
Yeah.
And I had an interview with the Jag engineer who said the supercharger at full chat takes something like 80 horsepower to run.
Wow.
And someone wrote in the next month and went, well, why don't you take the supercharger off then?
Can I just say though, the badge still annoys me.
Yes. Why is it not just a circle with the letter in it?
Fucking exactly.
And it could be the nice bright colour, so it could be green for the R, red for the S, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it would look great.
But it just looks like a Swizzles children's lozenge.
Yes, the letter is escaping from the circle.
I've said this in previous reviews and stuff. It's like that single-handedly cheapens the whole R
Yeah, it does.
vibe.
It does. But it's also symptomatic of something that just Jag can't do badges.
No.
They can't do badges. Do you remember
that's cool.
The Leaper.
The 3D Leaper. Not the mouth of the creature roaring.
Do you know what the mouth of the creature is called? The Growler. I can't think of another car company that uses two logos at the same time, except for Jaguar, and I think it's wrong. And if I was running Jaguar, no, I'd bin that, because you can't put it on the grille, because you can't have an asymmetric badge on the grille, even though
it's true.
Someone at Jag told me they'd thought about it.
I love that though.
Do you?
I love the
I love
muscular
it as a
cat.
thing. What I would do is I'd keep that on the dealerships
Yeah.
and on the letter-headed paper and all that.
Do you not like that on the boot then?
No, I think it's messy because it's asymmetric.
Oh,
I'd have
but
a growler.
But
I
it
want a
looks
growler
so
on the boot.
statuesque and quality.
No,
It does look
and I don't
quality.
like it on the steering wheel because it's asymmetric. What's wrong with a growler? Having your lovely, like my old XJR had a growler. I love looking at a growler.
I'd love it. I don't know if I want a growler on. The growler doesn't quite
As long
look
as it's
right
well
for
kept,
me.
I think, you know.
A well-kept growler on your steering wheel or your grill.
Yes, I
know.
12. So yeah, my minor objection to the leaper rather than the growler on the wheel, and I do think it's that Jag sometimes let themselves down just with tiny details. Like I don't really like the vents on the bonnet with supercharged written down them.
Is it because it's all body coloured?
It's not just because it's body coloured, it's because it sort of feels a bit showy-offy. It's like the rest of this car being so sort of relatively discreet that I just don't want people to know it's supercharged. None of their business.
And you can't delete option it?
I don't think so. I could probably get some filler and a rattle can if I owned this car.
You just get them made out of. You could just get them made out of aluminium or carbon fibre and just have them smooth.
I don't want carbon fibre. I don't want aluminium. I want. I mean, I think maybe the vents are functional. I don't know, but I don't want supercharged written on them.
No, I know what you mean. For the last 10 years, been reviewing Jags on telly and stuff, and whatever I say about them, if I ever give them a compliment, I always get this tirade.
Really?
Yeah, of people going, but you'd never buy one because Jags are for old people, they're just parents' cars. And you go, guys, when was the last time you drove one? And then you find out the last time they drove a Jag was when the S-Type first came out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like...
When they were in full national trust, kind of.
Yeah, it was. Do
you know what? I was thinking about this the other day and I thought of an advertising slogan for Jag, which is, remember your dad's Jag, neither do we.
Oh.
And it's a picture of an F-Pace or something. But they won't want it because they won't look like they're renouncing their history, because they like a lot of their history.
Jag digs their heritage.
But the problem is they do have this perception as old man cars.
They look daunting initially because you look at this thing and you go, it's a long, wide...
It's a big old car, but actually...
Doesn't drive like a big, wide car. Jags never feel like bloaters though, do they?
The good ones don't. Well, but then the ones that do feel a bit bloaty, it's quite nice bloaty.
What, like they've had a loaf of bread for breakfast?
Yeah, it's just... Sorry, I've just had a massive roast for lunch. It was a mistake. I shouldn't have ordered crumble for pudding.
Got afternoon lethargy.
Do you mind if I just go and sit in this wing-back chair and have a nap?
I'll tell you what it is. It's like when you stay at... If you've ever stayed at a B&B and the person keeps bringing slices of toast out on racks. And you've had like... You
can't say no.
I've already had a bowl of cereal and I've already had some fruit and there were 2 slices in the rack and I'm like, I don't want to waste it. I don't believe in wastage. So I've had those 2. And then they bring another 2 or 3 out because they've seen that you've had them. And you go, oh shit. Shall I have another 3 slices of toast with, a centimetre of jam?
I mean, I am intolerant of wheat, but I don't want to look rude, so I'm just going to keep eating this poison.
My face is going to bloat up when I'm in an important meeting later on. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm going to go into shock just as we're discussing the pan-European maintenance contracts. But that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Is there any evidence to support cheap white bread gives you an itchy arsehole?
There is, as far as I'm aware, no evidence to support that now. I've just discovered there's a switch on here that just moves the squab right out, and it's...
Do you want to? I'm going to see how high I can go because this has got a nice little recessed head. Should we see how high we can go now?
This traffic is irksome, but it's how high? See, I thought I might do a bit more.
Oh, it hit a plateau and then it went again. Are you going?
I'm going jangle.
This is what you should do when you're in traffic. I'm going to also fold myself towards the dash.
I think I can go down a bit more as well, actually. Oh no, there we go. Right. Oh, now this is a Jaguar driving position.
Oh, it's the 3 fingers on the base of the steering wheel.
Because that's all I can reach. I can't quite. I can just get the top.
I'm having a whale of a time here.
You know, the only thing is, this is it's restricting my palming.
Can't palm.
Could you? Oh.
Do you want me to palm
No,
it
I've brought
for
the
you?
wheel out. Reach extendable wheel. It's good. It's out. Now
Is
down
that...
a bit. Can you put it down a bit?
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
Is that
We're
perfect?
Good. Yeah.
Can you palm that?
I can palm. Look, I've got
Have you ever seen people holding the centre boss and turning?
Yes. I've done that. I used to do it on.
With your Jeep Cherokee, I bet.
No, because the boss was too large. This is nice. I can't see in the rearview mirror, but.
Oh, there's a police car.
I'm going to sit up for a minute. Pretend. Do you know what?
Yeah. I still get a fear when I see
I know.
Unnecessarily.
Sense that you've done something wrong, even though you haven't done anything.
Mark II Fiesta with the number plate.
No.
So rare now.
That's an Essex plate.
What, new?
Ooh.
Oh, is it?
Double O is Essex. That could be a factory car, Mr. Smith.
Could be promotional material.
Extensive history file.
Lovely thatch.
Lovely thatch. But so the bonnet vents with supercharged written on them. No growlers. Not enough growlers for my liking. But apart from that, I think I like everything else about this car. Right, watch this. I'm just going to do this now. Wow. And now we're going really quite quickly.
It's such a good mill.
It's just too easy. Too easy.
Such a good mill.
It's the kind of car where I do find myself occasionally saying "whoa" there to the car, which is unnecessary. It's a car.
I love travelling in XJs.
Do you know what I've realised? I mean, every so often in this car, I just unleash the big stick and just boot it because I can.
But then
a lot of time I find myself just driving in a very relaxed manner because it's almost like it does. It's nothing to prove, this car.
It's like
nothing to prove.
It's a bit like the whole Lennox Lewis thing for me. He was a champion boxer, but always ever so calm and relaxed, and actually a bit of a gentleman.
Yes.
But
very well turned out in his spare time.
Exactly, but the right set of circumstances, he knew he'd go in and all hell would break loose. But then he'd go straight back to being a chess playing, corn roast man.
He would snap somebody's head clean off.
Yeah.
In a professional way.
Yeah.
And then he'd come out the ring and he'd go, "Oh, John, just reading a lovely article in the National Geographic."
Yeah.
And then maybe you'd go, and have a lunch.
I've always wanted to meet Lennox Lewis. Always. I wonder if he's into cars. I bet he's not. I bet he doesn't have many possessions. I bet he's a man of few possessions.
I think he's quite zen.
Yeah, I get the impression he doesn't clutter his life. He's the opposite to the man with the monocle and the suit truck. Eubank, yeah.
Yeah, Eubank's the buffoon, isn't he? Eubank is not a... I don't know, would Eubank be an XJR man? No.
No.
This, you're right, this car is Lennox Lewis.
Ow. Shut up.